there is Islamophobia. Nobody can deny it. Muslims do not feel safe.
Advocates for Quebec's Muslim community say 5 years after the Quebec City mosque attack that left 6 men dead, the feelings of fear remain. Many say hate towards Muslims is still prevalent, that Quebec's Bill 21, the province's religious symbols ban on some public sector employees like teachers, is fueling Islamophobia. The law is being challenged in Quebec's Court of Appeal.
It puts forward stereotypes and prejudices that do not belong in a free society as the one we live in. So this is very problematic. There should not be a second class of citizenship in Quebec.
Some Muslims say they are directly targeted by Bill 21 and feel the discourse surrounding it can be dangerous and reminiscent of worshippers in Quebec City being gunned down by a man who consumed Islamophobic and far-right anti-immigrant literature online.
We hear testimonies in mosques that people, when the first rak'ah they do, then they stop and they make sure that the door is closed because they don't feel comfortable with their backs to the doors.
I never really thought we could have a law in Canada that discriminates against people based on protected classes as citizens.
A recent Leger poll for the Association for Canadian Studies found support for an element of Bill 21 has slipped, with 55% of Quebecers in favor of banning religious symbols being worn by public school teachers, compared to a September survey that found 64% were in favor of Bill 21. The seeming shift in public opinion could be tied to the recent debate on the issue, including the case of an elementary school teacher in Chelsea, Quebec, who was removed from her teaching position in December because her hijab contravenes the law.
The children and the parents, they protested, and they're not from a religious minority, many of them. They said, we like this teacher, why is she being shifted? So I think it just begins with everyday people saying, you know what, I want my teachers, I want my public servants to be chosen based on their competency, their level of skill, and not on their religious affiliation.
Montreal teacher Maha Kassef is technically part of the grandfather clause for Bill 21. She's able to wear her hijab on the job because she was doing so before the law came into effect, but that only applies if she stays in her current role, meaning she won't be able to move up. Recently, the Quebec government decided, in the face of the fifth wave of the pandemic and the possibility that too many teachers fall sick, they may call upon parents to come in and help, but Bill 21 won't apply to them.
If you deem that these parents who probably have other things to do or they're qualified in other areas are fine to come into a classroom with a religious symbol on, and that it's not putting children's lives in danger of being exposed to difference, then why is it a problem if it's their usual teacher?
This discrimination, unfortunately, creates a divide in the population.
Advocates with a message to those affected by Bill 21 and the fear that may surround the topic.
They are just as much a Quebecer as anyone else, and just to encourage them to go ahead and take their place in society.
In Montreal, Alyssia Rubertucci, City News.